Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube. We are going to talk all things kitchen organization today. If you follow me on other social platforms or even here in shorts, you probably know that organization is like my thing. I love helping you guys organize your house. I love helping you feel at home in your house and live in it at the same time. I have 4 little kids ages 4 to 11 and I know that that can be such a struggle. So that is kind of my passion here. And with this organization, we are going through a 30-day declutter challenge that I offer for free on my blog. So if you want to join in, I will have the link here in the description so you can download those documents. It's completely free. My goal is just to help you get every nook and cranny of your house decluttered in 30 days. So let's get into decluttering, organizing your kitchen. All right, so we are in my kitchen. We are working through these declutter documents. So when you download the declutter documents, you get like 10 sheets. These are my favorites. It's the actual 30-day schedule of each area to do. You have 4 days to work and then a catch-up day for each week. And then bag trackers. This is just something extra, but I am such a numbers person that I love to see how much stuff actually left my house over the course of a month. So I love using these. Use them if you want. If you're not into that, don't use them. So we are in the kitchen. The first 2 days of this are kitchen drawers, kitchen cabinets, and then you're into pantry and freezer. So we're gonna touch on kitchen drawers and cabinets. I'm not gonna get into my freezer or my fridge with you today. That would be a lot. But we're gonna kind of go through each of the drawers. I will speed things up. You're gonna kind of watch me going in high speed fashion. But I'm going to talk about some of those number one things to kind of hit on, because I feel like that's what's a little bit overwhelming for us is what do we really want to get rid of? I'm pretty ruthless. And so I actually don't have probably as much as some of you guys do anyway, because I do this all year long. But I'm going to talk about, okay, if you're in your drawers, this is what you should touch on. So let's get into speed things up at times. You may even see my husband come in and kind of help me, but I've got a couple of baskets here that I'm gonna use for the actual filling of all of the donation items. These were from my basement. They're in great shape. I just don't need them, so I'm gonna fill those up for donation. I would say anywhere you're donating, or anywhere you're decluttering, you're gonna have trash and donate, but the kitchen, as far as everything but food, you're probably gonna not have very much trash. This is really helpful stuff. If you are in St. Louis, which is where I live, I have a full blog post on places you can donate that are not just your typical Goodwill type places. So I will link that as well. But if you are looking for places elsewhere, just ask around. There's so many great nonprofits that can kind of be helped off of this challenge. So that's really great. So I'm gonna get into drawers and then I'll kind of stop and show you where my mindset goes on some of this. Just watch me completely empty out this drawer. One of my number one things I'm gonna tell you is when you are decluttering drawers, cabinets, things like that, try your best to take everything out and use this as a chance to clean out those drawers and cabinets. We don't do it nearly as often as we should, and especially in the kitchen, there's always crumbs and dirt and things like that in there, so it's definitely worth doing. So I am fairly minimalist in my kitchen. I've been doing this challenge for upwards of 5 years, so I probably have less than most of you. Why do I have this many wooden spoons? So some of these are gonna go. My rule of thumb and how I try and help you guys is by saying, think about how often you do dishes, or so in the kitchen, how often do you do dishes and what do you use your kitchen for? I do not cook a ton, and if we do, we run the dishwasher once or twice a day. We have 4 kids, it's necessary. So there's literally no chance I'm gonna run out of wooden spoons with this many wooden spoons. Now my mom, maybe she would need this many. She cooks a ton. Now she probably has 4 times this many still, so she needs to get rid of some, but we all have different needs. So base kind of the maximum number that you would need to use on what you keep. So that's gonna look different for you than for me. Get rid of some of it. For me, I'm going to attempt to get rid of pretty much everything that cannot fit in my utensil canister here. I feel like I probably need very little in that actual drawer. and then that'll free up drawer space for something else. So we're gonna I'll go through some of this and then I'll show you what I end up getting rid of. I ended up, here is donation, here is my drawer, and there is my canister. As you can see, there wasn't a ton to get rid of, but I did get rid of some, and it definitely freed up the space. I'm filming this with the 4 kids home because it's Christmas break, so you may have to take some squeaky drawers. But I freed up some space. I got most of my stuff in that canister, and then everything next to the stove is now like only cooking utensils that I would use when I'm cooking on the stove or in the oven, versus the things that are, my husband's like, where are these kids? Versus things that need to go in another drawer. So I will show you that. All right, we cleared out this entire drawer, and this is kind of my donate pile right here. Not a ton, but it was duplicates of items that we definitely don't need anymore, or items that I haven't used in the past year. There were 2 items that we had that honestly just aren't great quality, so those went on the list. I'm gonna repurchase them. But a couple of things I wanna talk about within the drawer. Sam, if you wanna kind of come up closer and film inside the drawer. All right, so here you can see I use bamboo drawer organizers for everything in my kitchen. Pretty much anything I use to organize in the drawers is bamboo. I tell everyone kind of stick with one style. So that might be acrylic. For me, it's bamboo. These little dividers are great. They come in several different packs. And then I've got these in here. And then I use these drawer dividers in pretty much every drawer. They're spring loaded, so you can turn them. You can do them kind of however you want. I turned my organizers, took out a couple of dividers. I get creative each time to fit what I need in the drawer, and this is kind of what I ended up with. So we have gotten into the drawers. Now let's go through cabinets. My coffee cups are actually in my pantry, but because for most people that would be in your kitchen, I'm gonna talk on cups and coffee cups. You likely have too many coffee cups. Again, for us, it's just my husband and I that drink coffee. We typically only need 1 mug. We do dishes once a day. I would say it's not unfair to think each of us need 2. I will say if you have people over or you frequently have guests, make sure you have enough coffee mugs for guests that come over. So, you know, keep a few extra on hand. Sometimes we'll have like friends over in the evening and we'll make coffee, hot chocolate, things like that. Yes, there's a reason to have more than 2 mugs or 4 mugs, but there's not a reason to have 40. So I would just like keep that in mind. We keep a couple extra when my parents come to town. I obviously want one for those too. We never have more than 2 other adults staying at our house, like sleeping here. I would say if push came to shove and we were going to have a ton of guests, I could go grab like dollar store mugs if I really needed them. So keep that in mind. And then cups, same thing. We recently pared down. I keep 1 style of cup and pretty much have gotten rid of the rest. There's no need to have any more than that. I feel like we all are seeking this huge kitchen, and I have like a great kitchen. It's really large, but I don't want to fill it to the brim. Like there's no need to do that. So I'm going to open my cabinets and kind of show you what I'm going to personally get rid of. Here you're in our like cup, whatever cabinet. We do not have a ton of extras in here in general. Like I said to you guys, I don't keep a lot of extras. The mason jars we use for all of our produce, so those are not going anywhere. We actually will use all of those from time to time, but we did these Grinch mugs. They were like a little DIY. They were really fun. The kids had fun with them. It was like a little like activity we did with the kids after school one day, but we do not need them. We have other Grinch mugs that got put away with our Christmas decor that they choose. They're just more fun for the kids. So I'm gonna donate these to someone else who would want them. I also, a couple of years ago, jumped on the fad of like the can-shaped glasses, and although they're great, we don't need them. So I'm gonna get rid of those as well. We're just gonna keep 1 style of glass. That way, if we have people over, I can like set a table beautifully. I don't need anything more than that. So I'm gonna kind of get after that, and then we'll jump back in. Results are basically just stuff on those bottom 2 shelves, and then we got rid of an entire large basket. This is all glassware. So that was all just extras that are in here. I still have to hit my actual coffee mugs, but again, this was just like extras. You don't have to be this ruthless, but for me, I just feel like there's literally no reason for me to keep all those when we have other great glasses that I grab for first. You guys are truly getting me from every angle, down here on my floor, getting into the cabinet, but I wanted to show you guys, this is real life. I feel like I'm a very organized person, but 3 people are constantly putting away groceries and dishes and things like that in this house, which means it's not always super easy. Also, this cabinet has no organization system, and I feel like it's just like this is what happens when that's the case. So I'm gonna go through here. There's definitely some stuff that needs to go, but there's also like, I've got to figure out a better system in here. So I'm gonna get everything out and then I'll go from there. All right, I'm gonna show you one last area today on decluttering. Gonna talk you through what I got rid of, what like my number 1 things to get rid of would be, and then I will show the actual organization tomorrow, so expect an outfit change. I've got 4 kids that are getting very antsy, so I'm not sure I'm gonna get any more filming out of them, but in our kitchen we have a junk drawer, probably most of you do, and then this is like our appliance garage. I'm gonna show you kind of what it is, but for us it functions as like a family, full family station. That said, we just added cabinets to our mudroom, so this is becoming less important. So I need to kind of figure out how I wanna reutilize this, but as of right now, this is not always the most functional space. And then my junk drawer could use some help. So I'm gonna go through that. I will say with your junk drawer, again, I'm gonna use like the same kind of rule of thumb that I always tell you guys. Don't have too many pens, pencils, just any of that stuff. Like if you have, no one needs to have 100 pens. I tend to think like one family is probably gonna be fine with like 1 good pack of pens for a year. So go through your pens, go through your pencils, go through your paper clips, all of that stuff. If you have way more than you need, donate them to someone else. Do not keep a ton of that. Your junk drawer is going to be a huge spot for actual decluttering. Ours is not that full, and I'm still going to go through it. We even have like some gift cards that honestly I've been like holding on to for years. I'm going to see if I can find a nonprofit that I can maybe give some of those to. They're just places we don't typically go, like to eat and things like that. So just, I feel like if it's taking up space in your home and you're not using it, try and find someone that will. So we're gonna tackle this. This space is completely cleaned out. I've tried to do this with every cabinet, but this is a really good one to show you because we're gonna completely reutilize this cabinet. We added some storage to our mudroom, and I feel like it'll be a better use for what's been in there. As you can see, there have been a ton of adhesive organization products, items in this cabinet. If you use those, I share them a lot. I think that they're wonderful. They allow you to use space that typically would go unused, and you need to remove them. Grab some dental floss and Goo Gone and drip the Goo Gone behind it. You have to be patient and use dental floss and it will come off. So that's always like my disclaimer. I hate the idea of someone going to take it off, and if you're not patient, you're gonna like take the finish off your cabinets, but if you use that Goo Gone, it will take it off nicely. All right, I just finished all of my kitchen decluttering. I'm putting here on the screen the number 1 things that I would focus on. If I were you, they were the things that I found to be the most like overfull in my kitchen, but just in general, I think that they are things that if you kind of focus there, I know for a lot of you, emptying out every cabinet and every drawer is just not gonna be a possibility. So start small. Look at those drawers, those cabinets that are the worst, and maybe just devote yourself to doing those, or maybe just hit these exact items that I'm putting on the screen and see if those will help. All in all, I feel like I said, my kitchen is one area where I keep it fairly clutter-free, and I still had 4, like, when I say bags, I tend to think what would fit in a trash bag. So we used boxes and bins, so I like counted like 2 bins as a bag. I still had 4 like trash bag sized loads of stuff that I'm getting out of my kitchen, which I feel like is pretty incredible. I have several empty drawers and empty cabinets, or like shelves and cabinets. I'm able to completely kind of reconfigure things. So I do feel like it's worth it. If you guys have been doing this for years, it's still worth continuing to do because I get better and better and like more minimal every year. I will be back around tomorrow on this same video, outfit change, sharing the organization. I had to order a few things while I was doing this, and I just like kind of want to walk you guys through how I'm getting things organized and just what those favorite products are. And then I will of course link those in the actual video description. I'm back, and everything is organized. So I'm gonna take you guys through cabinets, into my drawers, a lot of holding my phone, so you're not gonna see as much of me. I'm sure that will not pain anyone. And I will show you kind of my favorite things. A few things to note: organizing your kitchen does not have to be super expensive. I will kind of touch on my like top 10 items that I would get. And I will just share what we've used, what we love. I will come back through with some other videos on like organizing your under sink, so I'm not even gonna touch on that today. I'm just gonna focus on your typical drawers and cabinets and just some of my favorites, talk about what's lasted for a while, what I would maybe change, and some of that. So let's get into it. One thing that I told you guys the other day that I stand behind is pick your poison, whether it's acrylic, whether it's plastic, whether it's bamboo, wood, whatever you want your drawer organizers. You're gonna feel a lot more like nicely organized if everything is kind of cohesive. So for me, I try to use bamboo everywhere I can in my kitchen. That has just worked best because the inside of my drawers also match that, so it looks nice and seamless. So I'm gonna take you through some of my drawers. I will talk you through, and cabinets, I will talk you through kind of when I did it, how it's lasted, the pros and cons of each product, and then everything will be linked in the description of the video if you need to find it. And then you can also always go to my Amazon storefront, and I'm constantly updating that. I post shorts here daily. I post videos on every platform talking about organization and favorite products. So I try and keep you guys up to date with like the newest, best product. So make sure you're following along, hit the subscribe button so you see that, and let's get into these drawers.
Immediate regret on saying let's get into these drawers. I mean, I'm not re-recording all of that, but I do wish I hadn't said it.
Okay, over in this stack here, none of this changed. So this top drawer is all of our silverware, and this bamboo organizer is expandable. I'm gonna take it out and show you, but it is absolutely my favorite, and there's no reason for me to change it. So it has stayed constant for probably 3 years. All right, my husband's gonna kind of show you guys how this works. So it expands out. You can expand either side. That side might be fully expanded. You can close one side. You can kind of do it however you want. And then we'll show you how it goes into the drawer if you want to slide it in there. And then can you expand it? There we go. And then this drawer here is my kids. This is everything for our kids. So we use one kind of plate, cup, bowl situation, and then we have the matching silverware as well as a few other like straws and silverware things for travel. This pegboard organizer has been amazing because essentially everything just goes in here. We don't lose any space in the drawer, but everyone kind of knows where everything goes, and when you close it, nothing's getting moved around. So if you're looking for a great way to keep a kid's drawer or like those deep drawers organized, this pegboard organizer has been great. It did not perfectly fit our drawer, so when we got it, my husband used his saw to cut it down. Here's another drawer that has not changed. I did this months and months ago, and I've been so happy with it. These are bamboo tiers here in this drawer. So you can kind of fit them however you need. I needed 2 side by side. And then I'm about to spill spices here, guys. About to spill spices. And then these simple little spice jars. I will say that one thing to note about these, they're really easy to open, which I love, but they don't have like a shaker lid. So keep that in mind if that matters to you. I absolutely love this. It's right next to our stove, so I use this all the time. I used to have our spices in the pantry, and I felt like I was constantly going back and forth. So I will say if you can justify space inside your kitchen, if your pantry is not super convenient, this has been a really good move for us. And then I just put one of these bamboo organizers because they weren't perfectly sized to my drawer, and some measuring spoons there for grabbing out spices when needed. Here's another example of a space I did not change at all. This has been like this for a couple of years, and I've absolutely loved it. There's several different options for buying the bamboo like baggy organizers, but this one I really love because everything's individual, so you can kind of move things to fit the drawer you need. And then I've really liked this foil and saran wrap dispenser. I had a different one, and I really like the way this one cuts. This drawer did get a complete reorganization when I did the decluttering yesterday. And this is a great example of using all the bamboo. So these are bamboo drawer dividers, little bamboo inserts, and I love that I can kind of customize it. So I have changed this so many times pending what we have in the drawers, and right now this has worked really well. Over here we have a good depiction of how you can kind of make the most out of your upper cabinets. So I added these little shelves in here, which have given a ton of extra space for like putting those little items over our plates. I've really loved that. I have another option coming that I'm going to test out, but for right now, I've been really happy with this. And then these hanging baskets are also a great way to add some additional like shelf space in your upper cabinets. So both of those have been there for several months and I really love them. I always recommend that everyone has some sort of canister on their countertop for some of those tools. I've shared several different options over the years here on YouTube, but this one is just like a very pretty, simple way to store some of those like daily use cooking utensils. And last, I'm going to show you guys how this works and I'm going to test it out. This is new. I was looking for a way to organize this cabinet that does not stay organized. It has like my larger baking pans and things like that. I use something very similar to this for all of our cookie sheets inside of a similar cabinet. And so I'm going to see if this works inside of my cabinet to keep those organized vertically. Here is the last cabinet. So we put that organizer in here and this was such a good solution. So these are actually used the opposite way typically for lids and things like that. But I think that they're great for your like cutting boards, your cookie sheets, things like that. We raise this shelf and then I absolutely love using just like a command hook for our little strainers. So this was a great solution. Again, all of this will be linked. And that is it. So if you guys have questions, make sure you leave them in the comments of this video. Thank you for joining in. This was one of my first attempts at like a true long form YouTube video. So bear with me as I get better at this, but I hope you enjoyed kind of seeing the decluttering in action, some of the organization. Again, make sure you follow along and subscribe so you can see what I do in shorts for those like shorter bursts of organization. I also share on all of their social platforms. Those are all linked as well. So follow along there. And then you can check out my Amazon storefront for any like constant updates of organization products if that is your thing. So have a great day and I will be back next week with another video.